I feel like I need a perpetual smile. Otherwise, this thing's going to grab me with the eyes closed. Hi there. It is Melissa, the author of Fertile Imagination. It's a book for moms who want to rediscover our imagination because we have always felt most alive when we are daydreaming, imagining, coming up with these ambitious, audacious goals. And it's just who we are, right? You don't want to have motherhood completely consume you and swallow you up. So here we go. I have a live website. Do you know how excited I am? You do not know. So I wanted to just share the screen as I talked about this idea of the cliff for mom entrepreneurs. And I know that you've never heard of it because I just shared it with Zibby Owens, who you might know from Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books, the podcast that's like sensational. She has a bookshop in California. And I was reading her story on Substack pertaining to her really, for the last 2 years, not going to see a doctor and how, it was something that she suggests we not do, right? That we actually take care of ourselves and really ensure that just as we're like super judicious with regards to our kids' health and all those appointments, that we do the same for ourselves. So here we go. So I was sharing with Zibby the fact that what I have noticed, and I have this reflected in one of my chapters of Fertile Imagination, chapter 3, is, and this is only because I've been around for 12 years as a coach online. So I've seen the trajectory. I've seen people look like they are like high and totally excited, swimming in money, throwing billies up in the air. I'm making that up. But you see them high flying, soaring. And then I've also seen them crash. And I've taken notice in terms of the mom entrepreneurs. So I'm not going to call it burnout because burnout, in my personal opinion, is not necessarily something that is 100% practically certain if you enter the world of entrepreneurship, and you don't know this until you get here. So what I was noticing is that there's this trajectory, right? It's kind of like you're climbing, 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 climbing. And what happens is that once you've established your business, maybe you have like some amazing systems in place, but once you've established your business, then there's this like compulsion to grow and scale and just like go for, gold, right? And what that ends up meaning for moms is oftentimes our kids' needs are changing. Our own seasons of motherhood are changing, and there's different requirements along the way that maybe we don't consider at the same time that we're trying to grow and scale our businesses as either a coach or as an author or a podcaster. And we fall off a cliff. So in Zibby's Substack, she had mentioned that 2 years without seeing a doctor, and there were repercussions, not like gigantic ones, and you'd have to follow her on Substack to get a sense of what she describes, but repercussions, right? And so in chapter 3 of my book, Fertile Imagination, so it's a guide for stretching every mom's superpower for maximum impact. I really share, so the book is in 3 parts, and in the first part about waking up your imagination, I share this idea of self-neglect. And that's the cliff that I don't want you, a mom, to fall off of. Because as an entrepreneur, you may have escaped, left, or decided or been pushed out of a corporate setting to actually find the flexibility you desire as an entrepreneur, but you may have realized that all that content creation, all that pushing out, new marketing efforts and keeping up with the algorithm, which should be replaced with keeping up with the Kardashians, ultimately is going to nip you in the tush. And this cliff that I speak of can be kind of avoided at minimum, slowed down, and it's by taking care of yourself. So in the book, chapter 3, I feature someone who was caring for her sick daughter. So Esther, DJ Yo Mama, who's in Amsterdam and is featured in my chapter 3, she was a podcast guest on Unimaginable Wellness. She actually lost a lot of sleep when her daughter was 6 years old and was very, very unwell in the hospital, going through chemo, etc. And the issue is that, of course, like every single mom is going to drop everything in order to take care of your child. That goes without saying. The issue is that our bodies don't care the reasons why we're neglecting them. And so years later, not that far off, but years later, Esther then got her own unwell diagnosis as well. And she spent 3 years in a bed. And she was really struggling with figuring out A, what she had, and B, how and if she would walk again. And that's the cliff that I'm talking about. And I want to be really, really specific. Our bodies, they don't care if we're losing sleep because we're building a book company, because we're caring for our kids who are unwell, because we're caring for our moms or dads or whatever. Like our body is very much so like a machine that is a human machine. And it's really important to respect and honor yourself and always keep up with your doctor's appointment, to Zibby's point in her Substack. In terms of Esther's point, what she realized is that she just kept going and going and going and going. And while she may have felt capable of, always being with her daughter and helping out with her family, it's not necessarily that it was the best for her body. And I want you to just tune into that. So I don't want you to fall off the cliff, not as a mom entrepreneur. And while we might go into entrepreneurship, assuming that we can call the shots on our time, the reality is because of the speed with which more people are entering this sector of coaching, podcasting, etc., there are moments that you will be on that upward trajectory, and it's going to be hard to keep up unless you have a big team or a really tight system and operationalized sense of operating or managing your business. Okay, so that's it for my time. I wanted to share with you my website before you head off to the weekend. Here's why. Friday, traditionally, I have noticed individuals when I worked back in corporate, like there tends to be this like procrastination. I want to just like surf the web. Can the day end already? Sentiment. So here's what I want to invite you, a working mom, to do if you need to just like, I don't know, chill out a little bit, end your day, unwind, and organize your files or make your inbox zero. So go to fertileideas.com. I'm sharing with you on the actual screen the website that you will be greeted with. So you'll have an opportunity to grab a free chapter of my book, Fertile Imagination, on fertileideas.com. That chapter also shares with you who else is in this book for moms from all over the world. Like, is your country, home origin represented? Like, are you from Nigeria? Yeah, you're in the book as far as like having a country represented. Are you in France? You're in the book too. Because I don't think that the US has the only say on how we can express ourselves in by way of creativity, and especially as moms. So there we go. That's one thing that you can do. So check it out. Check it out. That's the free chapter. You also have here some wonderful, I'm like completely smitten with all the praise that I've gotten for my book, because writing a book is a very vulnerable experience if you've never done it. And so you might feel a little more tender when people are saying things, but I have seen really great feedback and I am so, so grateful. Like, I honestly have even cried at some of the things I've heard from people, because I feel like it's going to really change moms' lives and help you see that you're not crazy and you're not alone. So testimonials, you'll have a good sense of like what other people have said about the book, some people that have been in the book. And then here's what you can do right now. I invite you to go to fertileideas.com. Again, if you're just like, closing up shop for Friday, heading into the weekend, go to fertileideas.com and start the challenge. I created a 5-day imagination to impact challenge that you are going to absolutely enjoy, because it draws you closer to your kids. It does not pull you away from them. And it's a perfect business building opportunity. And you're also going to share it with your child, ideally 5 and up, unless you've got a really mature 4-year-old, how to actually come up with an idea. And so this is about, coming up with new approaches or looking outside of a sector in order to freshen up your own business, right? So if you're entrepreneurial, this is for you. If you have a child 5 and up, this is for you. If they like stickers, I really wanted to do stickers, but I created labels, then this is for you too. I'm a big Lisa Frank person. So 5-day challenge. Hit start the challenge today. You're going to get my welcome email with the video. Tomorrow, you're going to get the first day's challenge. And that is going to include you writing your own kids menu, which is like so much fun. And I talk about it in the book. But you do not need to have the book to participate in this challenge. So go for the challenge and you're doing it with your child. And it's going to be short in terms of the time span that you will need to have your attention turned on. And every single day for 5 days, you get a challenge. And at the end of it, I'm going to give you that idea picker for moms that actually takes into account whether now is the right moment for you to execute on that idea, contingent on your needs and your family's needs. And that's nowhere in terms of frameworks for business building. I haven't seen that. And I've been in this space for 12 years and I've been in corporate for another decade or so. So 5-day challenge. You could do that today. And then tomorrow, after you pick up the kids from sports, you could actually do the first day's challenge. And then Sunday, another challenge, et cetera, et cetera. And these are things you could do at home. So it's not going to be something that you have to go to like Michael's and get supplies or anything, unless you want to. There's also a quiz. Oh my God, who does not love a quiz? Super simple, 10 questions max. That's all I wrote in there. And you will have a good sense of where to apply your finite focus. You're a mom, you have finite focus, finite energy, finite time. This is 3 minutes and you get an answer and you get a way to actually like optimize your time. So do I have to focus in this area pertaining to building my imagination muscles or another area? Find out where you should focus to get the most bang out of your buck so you could affect your income and your impact. The last thing, so this is like if you're an insider. Right now, around the world, there's about 60 moms reading my book. I know they got the head start. So 50 moms reading my book right now, all over the world. And also people who are not moms as well, but creativity experts. If that's you, you can go to fertileideas.com and download my editable playbook. So this book is a book like with course material information. If you wanted to follow each chapter and do the prompts, the journal prompts, you could actually type them out in this playbook on the website. And if you're just curious, you could always download it as well. Like you're totally available to do that. So that's a little bit about me. That photo was taken in Connecticut by a mom photographer. And let's just say that we knew how to get that shot in a shop. And we just did it in our own way. Have a beautiful weekend. Do not neglect your health. It doesn't matter as much why you're neglecting your health. It matters that you pay attention. Really, your body does not distinguish whether you're doing it for a good reason or a bad reason. It's something that you need to keep your eyes on. For me, I have a doctor's appointment on Monday. It's a little bit of a shame that I had to like fight for a doctor's appointment since it's the US and I have resources, but so be it, you know? And for me, that's important, even in the middle of a book marketing plan or moment, because this is a lot of work, right? And what you're doing is taking a lot of energy and a lot of resources. So you need to really make sure that you are operating at your optimal and you're not going to fall off that cliff. And I'm telling you right now, burnout and the way that people feel from a corporate perspective, it might feel different if it's your own business and you're the face of your brand, but your body, again, is not distinguishing. It's not saying, oh, I'm feeling stress from a boss versus I'm feeling stress from a client. So please take care of yourself. Check out the website. I want to see you on the other side. I want to know that you're part of this community of moms who really want to have these audacious goals because we want our kids to see us actually execute and see what it takes to execute our dreams.